Shalom. All praise is due to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rechak Kwadash, the bonus to the elect apostle, bishops, elders at Great Millstone that were well. Shalom to like Ak out there doing this work in sincerity and truth and not for vainglory, in season out of season. Shalom to elect men, women, sons, and daughters of the nation of Israel, which are the elect men, women, sons, and daughters of you so-called Negroes, West Indian, Haitians, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans. Just want to go to President Trump. You know, he's doing his thing. You know, he's bringing out all this legislation to send a National Guard and the not the National Guard, the Army. You know, in the inner cities, as he says, okay, for practice. So when they gotta go fight enemies abroad, when the U.S. Armed Forces gotta fight enemies abroad, okay. But we all know what it is. You know, he's talking about, the immigrants, which the nation of Israel, basically so-called Mexicans, Venezuelans, Panamanians, and so forth. You know that you're bringing fentanyl, you're bringing in the drugs. He's talking about President Maduro bringing in fentanyl, but really it's all lies because they just want to get the oil. They want to get the natural resources of Venezuela. Okay, that's just one of the many reasons why. Okay, which is a part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, the Venezuelans. Okay, so he's he wants to go over there and take their natural resources. Okay, all right, that's one of the many reasons why. But let's read another, because President Trump is Esau. Okay. All right. So let's just read this, and let's read some more of Esau. Another person that's Esau. Let's read this. This is 1 Maccabees, 1st chapter, 1st verse. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. Okay. And made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. And that's basically what Esau, we speaking in code now. If you know, you know. Okay, but if you don't, you don't. So we're just going to say Esau for right now. Okay. And made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. And that's what Britain did. United Kingdom, Britain. They went around the earth, making many wars, and slew the other kings of the earth, of the other heathen nations. All right. Okay. And what he did to the nation of Israel. Okay. Which are your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay. It says, and this is what America has done. Even though the nations are fighting back, right? But, this has been a long-standing thing that Esau has done throughout the earth. It went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations. Yeah, that's how Esau got his riches. That's how Britain, France, Portugal, Spain, this is how America, this is how they got their riches. Okay, the spoils of many nations. They got many riches. And not just gold and silver, but lands. Okay. All right. Of many nations. Okay, look what they did to the Native Americans. Look what they did over there to the Spanish speaking tribes. Okay. All right. Look what they did over there in West Africa. And look over they did to Ham, you know, King Leopold, you know, out there in the Congo, Nigeria, you know. So all these heathen nations have been defeated by Esau. It went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, and so much that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted in his heart, and his heart lifted up. Now this happened back then during the time of the Maccabees, but this is what Esau has been doing throughout the earth. Okay, even in these times now, even though they're losing their power. Okay, but Esau is gonna go down. Okay, all right. So let's go down to 37th verse. Okay, it says, thus they shed innocent blood on every side. Who's the they? They is talking about Esau, Antiochus Epiphanes. Okay, the Greek and his army. Okay, just like they want to go over there in Venezuela and they want to shed innocent blood, just like they went over there and Grenada shed innocent blood, just like they've done here in America and shed innocent blood on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, see, this is Esau's MO. Okay, thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it. So these are talking about the Israelites from back then, and it's talking about the Israelites now, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, so you can read it. It's gonna go over. It's gonna go into it more, and this is one of the ways we know that Esau is gonna fall. All right, so let's go to you can read the whole chapter. You can read some more chapters. All right. Let's go to Proverbs, the 6th chapter. And the sixth chapter. Proverbs, the 6th chapter. All right. Proverbs, the 6th chapter. All right. And we start at the 16th verse. Okay. These 6 things doth Yahweh hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look. Oh boy. Man. If DJ Trump ain't got a proud look, I don't know who does, y'all. A lying tongue. And that's all he does is just lie. That's all he does. He just lies 24 hours a day. You talking about Venezuela bringing in the fentanyl, but when you go back to Freeway Ricky Ross, the CIA set him up to bring cocaine and turn it into crack to sell to so-called black people here in the inner cities. So Esau is just a liar. make America great. That's another lie. You know? You know what I'm saying? You know? He just lies about everything that comes out of his mouth. So yeah, Esau. Now this goes for Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans too, but it can go for Esau too. You know, a lying tongue. You know, when the MAGA hatters, okay, when they were voting for Trump, the first term, they really thought that he was going to really make America great again. But what about them farmers in Arkansas? What about Esau farmers in Arkansas? Now they're complaining about Trump. Okay. Why? Because Trump got all those tariffs over there in China, and they can't sell their product. You know, the farmers in Arkansas can't sell their product. So he's making America worse again. Okay, he's not making it great again. You see? He said how he's going to make America great, and yes, be proud to be an American, and now he's shitting on you so-called Esau Americans. Okay? He's shitting on you. He's making things worse for you. Okay? All right? And hands that shed innocent blood. And that's what Trump is aiming to do. Shed innocent blood. Now, who are the true people of the innocent blood that he wants to shed the most? You so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians. Okay? All right? All right? You know, he's going to shed your blood the most, but even though he's going to shed the blood of you peon so-called Esau, okay, you know, by bringing those military troops, okay, inside the inner cities, but all hell's gonna break loose, okay? And he's gonna shed the blood of the innocent, okay, which is going into Israel. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And really, he's gonna shed the blood of the elect of the nation of Israel, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. Not all the elect, but some of the elect. You know, in that time of martial law. Okay. All right. So I hope you've been edified. And like the scriptures say, he shall be like a madman, sparing none. They shall be like madmen, sparing none. You know, because that's what Esau is all about, shedding the blood of the innocent. He did it when he came over here to this land, okay, with the North American Indians and the Seminole Indians and the Mexican Indians, okay, the indigenous people of this land, which are you North American Indians and you Seminole Indians and you Mexican Indians. He shed your blood, okay? You know, you didn't do anything to Esau when he first came over here, but he shed your blood. He took your land, okay? So we know that Yahweh hates this thing. He hates these things. And heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief. You know? So yeah. Hope you've been edified. And with that, hey, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai hates this. And guess what, Esau? You on his shit list. 2/3 of Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans is on his shit list. But Esau, you really on his shit list. Hope you've been edified. With that, Shalom.